What's up, boys? We're back with some more Noobs Are Coming for the 1.0 release. It's a bullet heaven very heavily inspired by Brotato, but there's a bundle with both of them on Steam if you want to check out either of them. Today we're going to be trying out the new Element Crab boss. He gains bonus speed based on elemental damage, and I love weird movement speed based builds. Plus there's a new skill Firewall that sounds pretty cool with that. It leaves a trail of fire behind you after you activate it, but it does sound pretty inconsistent early on, very low duration and a long cooldown. So I think we're going to look for that later on and try to build around it, but I think to start off with, we'll just try out the Petal Pooper. That also scales with duration, cooldown, and elemental, so it should be a good start for the run. Check out some difficulty 5. So the most unique and interesting thing is the skills from what I've seen so far. A lot of those can really change how the game actually plays out. And my favorite one is the pinball thing, where you can basically turn into a permanent ball just bouncing all over the map if you get some really high cooldown reduction and duration. So actually that would be pretty cool with the Firewall, I guess, if it's available. It might not be allowed with the elemental weapons only. I'm not sure if skills are affected by that. Attack speed, yeah, that'll be decent. And then we probably just want to focus on weapons with the low amount of souls we have currently. This steals some elemental and freezes enemies, melee. Alright, so we'll grab that, and then I guess some soul economy, so that we can buy some other stuff. We have just enough for a cactus. Oh wait, you need to water those. Yeah, I guess that probably won't help here. Oh well. But yeah, I think we just stack as much cooldown reduction and duration and attack speed. Wait, attack speed is cooldown reduction, what am I saying? So that we can stack the firewalls. And then I guess we'll have flower trails and firewalls all over the screen, hopefully. Sounds pretty interesting. And we can zoom around with the movement speed based on elemental damage. Although I guess the cap on that is kind of low. Sounds like that'll be 60%, I guess, if we max it out. Let's see, range, that sounds decent for the Petal Pooper. Speed, we do want some of that. Duration would be pretty nice as well. I'll take the higher rarity and hope that's good with the fire stuff. We have a chain lightning thing here that scales with elemental on that, so that'll be helpful for farming. Water can if we want to try out any of the plants later on. And I don't think we have any amount scaling, so no real downside to that, but I don't think the stats really help me that much currently. Room size. If the pinball thing is available, that'll make it harder to bounce around, but I think it probably isn't, so we'll just grab that anyways. Try to get the limited 2 capped out at some point to clear up the shop a bit. There's apparently a co-op mode in the options as you're choosing the run. If you're interested in that, chance for noobs to display usernames and then extra souls when they die based on that. Sounds nice. Elemental is good, yep. We have another Petal Pooper, that's fantastic. And then I think with high movement speed, we actually will block the spawns. That's what happens when you stand on top of the little area where they're appearing. So I think we're going to have difficulty avoiding that either way. May as well take some stuff that synergizes with it. Another water orbit if I want that. Range is nice. Do we use size? A little bit on that. So that doesn't really have a downside either. Decent health there. I think we'll take the attack, and then I don't think I'm gonna lock anything here. We're really just trying to find some decent attacks at this point, I think, before we really start grabbing all of the passive stuff. So you carry over like 50% of the souls. I don't think I want to lower my attack speed. And then those will be added to the pools on the next levels. Ooh, attack speed and range. I think we'll get the attack speed cooldown. And since we don't use that, it would have to be HP or crit here, I guess. I'll do a little bit of HP, I think, since we're going to be moving around close to enemies with the firewall once we have that going. Souls and some more chain lightning. I don't think we're going to mess around with the plant stuff, even though we do have some water stuff temporarily. Probably replace that later on. Try and clear out some of the limited stuff eventually. Or petal pooper, I do like that. Do we want to remove anything here? Maybe the water can, I guess? I can combine them, I know, but I like having a lot of these so the entire screen is covered. So yeah, I think we'll just sell that, keep 3 copies of them for now. That is limited. I don't think it helps me a ton yet. Probably do a reroll for now. Noob with a visible username. More souls. Do we want to save any of these? I wouldn't mind having them, but I don't think I'm going to lock them for now. Yeah, I haven't seen the pinball or anything, including skills that are unrelated to elemental. So I think it just blocks all of them, and if we want to do the burning ball combo, I'm going to have to try a different boss for that, I guess. But I am definitely interested in having some burning balls at some point. That combo does sound pretty cool. I do like the music. Nice range there, no real downside, I think. Crit chance and damage. I don't know if crit applies to damage over time in this game, like burn effects or anything. Probably should on the trails from those, since those have an actual damage stat. So I think that's fine. Size, I think. I guess the pedal poppers don't gain anything. Alright, we'll just do damage here then. Then duration, I like that. Firebow, that sounds nice. Burn effect based on elemental. So I guess we would drop the melee axe, even though the freeze is kind of nice. Level up, gain lifesteal and lose HP. That sounds pretty risky for me. Especially if you had 3 of those, your HP would drop so fast, I don't think so. I don't mind that for some survivability. Let's see what else we got. Definitely not lower attack speeds. I guess that's fine. It's only 1 copy, so we can get that out of there. And then I think we will start combining some of these. Do 1 more reroll. That is fully based on elemental. It does have a duration and a cooldown. Alright, that could be pretty good then, especially at purple. We could instantly combine that if I had the money, but I don't think I'm going to save it. We're probably going to replace most of those eventually anyways. Alright, maybe we're just a full flower build. I do like that with the cooldown and duration. I didn't think it would take this long to find the firewall, though. Maybe we should have just started with that after all. Nope, don't want to lose the attack speed. Ooh, some nice stuff here. Let's go big attack speeds. Big damage, I think that's fine at blue. Luck and a reroll price, that's quite nice. And we'll, I guess, combine these now as well. Add the purple laser. Enemy reduces their speed. That sounds really good with the flower trails. Absolutely. Ooh, here's the blue firewall. Do we want to drop something or combine those? I think probably just drop one of the greens. That's the only source of burn we have currently. Although, I guess that'll replace it. Okay, that's fine. So we got a blue wall, Still not the greatest uptime it seems like, but we'll keep scaling that up. That is limited, so we could start working on those. Alright, here's the skills. They'll spawn a little thing on the ground, you have to pick them up. And then it will be active for a while after that. Do we only get the one of those? It has the attack speed, right? That's gonna be kind of annoying if we can only get one of them. I guess the fire trail seems to be permanent? But then attack speed doesn't even do anything on it, even though it has a cooldown stat, right? I have 3 fire things on me. What is that? Attack speed is, I guess, the only thing here. Or Soul Harvest if you want to hold a bunch. That's like interest on the shop, right? Yeah, total number of souls. I don't think we're gonna build around that. I haven't played in a while, and level 5 is the highest difficulty I've done. I'll do some life, or actually regen's fine for survivability as well. Ooh, a purple firewall. Yeah, we'll take that. Water orbit. That does seem decent. I think eventually we just want to get a ton of petal poppers and maybe like one burning skill. One consistent one, since we only seem to be able to have one trail from that, I guess. Ooh, free soul flask. Yeah, I guess we'll combine those. Ooh, size. Does that work on the firewall? No. So the only stat that really scales with then is duration and movement speed, since you can run around and drop it for a bit longer. Why does it even have a cooldown on there? Weird. I guess we don't really care about that too much then. HP is fine, I think. Pickups persist between waves. It is 1 unique, so we can just get that out of there. Then don't have that much left, so just in case. 500 souls. That honestly doesn't sound very good for the long run. I don't think so. We could get a purple on that, but we're eventually going to replace that anyways, I think. So yeah, I guess all you can do is stack movement speed and duration, and hope the firewall spawns close to the center, so that you can get a good area with it. Seems like it starts off pretty terrible, but I think we can still make it decent at some point, hopefully. But yeah, I guess we actually should try and pull them through the fire trail. That'll up the DPS a lot. Range, that's pretty nice. Purple Soul Harvest. Since we aren't really going to use a ton of that, I guess we may as well. All damage types and dodge. I think that's fine. Unique, so we can get that out of here. It does cost quite a bit, so is there anything else I want more? I do like soul economy early as possible. Max HP converted into damage. 3 to 9%. I don't think that does a ton for me. Maybe grab that a bit later if possible. I just try and line everyone up to the firewall over here, I guess. It does make it a lot easier to collect the souls at the end of the round. Now I can get most of those, I guess. Find heal potion and healing from them. I will take it to get it out of there. It doesn't seem that bad. Duration is nice. Heal from potions converted into luck. 3 into 12. I mean, it might be kind of bad right now, but it might pay off in the long run. Ooh, attack speeds. Yep. How are we doing on some of these now? 0.67, 2.67. Those are getting kind of close to double the lifetime. It's pretty nice. So luck or duration here. We're still fairly early on. Or it ends at 20, doesn't it? So I guess we're about halfway through. Okay, duration it is. And do we want anything here? I don't think so. Purple liquidator. Yeah, I guess we'll run that for a while. Oops. Order lol. Room size and speed, that's the second one. All damage types. Yeah, I guess we'll work on that. We do need the elemental anyways. And it's a unique. Souls are golden. Extra souls. XP gain, sure. Nah. Extra souls, and then another apple, and one more reroll. Another petal popper. What would we get rid of for that? I guess the blue liquidator, since that's one of the main items we're going for. Bit of knockback on a limited. Dang, I really thought you would be able to get multiple fire trails. That is a lot less exciting. Maybe what we do is we try to wall off like 1/4 of the map and then just bunker down in there. That'd make it harder to hunt down all the souls and potions and stuff, I guess. Oh yeah, we can even heal from the potions now. Armor for a bit of survivability, and I guess dodge here. If we had mount scaling, would have been really nice. That is limited. That's a decent amount of HP, but I guess we'll work on that as well. Elemental, we do need some of that, even though I don't like losing attack speeds. That's limited. The enemy health is limited. Another water orbit. I guess so. Unique, that's fine. Let's see what else we got. Crit chance for every critical hits in the wave. We could use that since I attack pretty fast, so that'll be okay. Some nice duration. That's limited, so we'll start working on that. It does feel a little hard to see some of the enemy projectiles when there's a lot of stuff going on the screen. Trying to focus on that a bit more now that we have no combat healing, other than a bit of regen and lifesteal. Duration's nice. I should probably take a decent armor though, just to make sure we don't die to all of those projectiles. Purple clouds. I do like the chain lightning stuff, but I don't want to replace the pedal, so it'd have to be that one, I guess. Yeah, we can try it since it's unique anyways. Don't think I care about those. Definitely not lower attack speed for HP. Can try to get that out of there. Turrets. I don't think we have any, but that's unique, so we can clean up the shop a bit. Another unique there. Attack speed for crits decent. Upgrade the pedal pooper. Do the duration and cooldown change any on that? Looks like just the damage. Alright, here we go. A nice little corner we can bunker down in if stuff gets difficult. He's carry me? What is that? No, the golden soul. Max HP converted into damage 4 to 12. I guess so. Get that out of there now. Wait, or soul blast every wave. That's limited, I guess so. Soul's portal. So we'll carry more over when I miss some with that. Fortunately, these stats aren't great for the run here. Still don't really have anything that works for the mount other than that. If we had 6, we could get an extra orbit, but I don't really care that much. So, luck or crits. I'll do a bit more luck here. Ooh, nice duration. Purple pedal popper, definitely. I think we'll just take the upgrade here. So our first max one. That is limited, but does the thing that removes those scale retroactively? I guess we'll check. 3 into 12? No, so that's completely useless then. Kind of what I figured, but I always like finding out, so. Another pedal popper. Sell the blue or something else. These are pretty handy. I think I'll... No, we want to get the absolute maximum. I'll just sell the orbit, I guess. 2 heal potions, which do nothing. Attack speed for every empty slot. I guess we're just gonna grab some stuff to get them out of the shop and make it a bit easier to find stuff. But I don't think either of those does anything. He spawns chance to turn it into an ally. I mean, we may as well. Nope. Pick up the chest, you explode for... When is that? Purple fire, I have no idea what set that is, but unique, so we'll take it. Purple chance. Take damage. Seems fine. Ritual Circle, that gives you attack speed, that's fine since it's unique. That's unique. And I guess that actually should work for the potions, even though they don't heal us at all. So it's not terrible. I don't think I want to lose damage currently. We're still very low on that, even though I need it pretty badly. Pick up a soul, heal HP. Yeah, that's pretty good. We have a ton of soul stuff. Do I degen with that, though? I hope not, because that could be pretty bad. Souls when you exit the shop. Isn't that the same thing as Soul Harvest? The end of the wave. Okay, so that's... Soul Harvest is better because it happens right before you go into the shop. I don't think I'm gonna lock that now. Rerolls are pretty nice. I might grab that and take another limited knockback. Where is the firewall? Try to make a little fortress up in the top left with that. Oh, this is the Ritual Circle for the attack speed. Yeah, unfortunately, I guess the firewall is gonna end up being a bit underwhelming. But the Petal Poppers are pretty strong and scale the same stuff, I guess. I was just thinking that late game we would be able to constantly have, like, at least one of them active the entire time and just drop fire the entire time. But this is not at all what I pictured for it. Dodge and duration. How's the dodge looking? 35. That's actually quite good then. Dodge gets better the more of it you have, and we did almost die off of one hit there. Purple is that pistol. Nah, we're decent on stuff now. On weapons. We have no downside on that, so may as well. Free rerolls are nice. Tax price, we're not really buying a ton of those anymore. Chance to find a chest is kind of nice. Don't think so. That sounds pretty risky when we have very limited healing. All damage types, yeah, we do need elemental very badly. That's probably the biggest weakness, we just don't have a lot of flat damage. We need to find the firewall and try to get some good area with that. And then hopefully lure the boss through it so he's at least burning. Is he freezing his own minions? I guess he is a Freezard, so maybe. No! A little bit more burn would have done it. Nah. Range is fine. Hidden enemy, chance of burn. Oh man, if we had that for the wave, that would have been so good on the boss there. Nope. Attack speeds. Don't think we care here. Oh, that scales with luck, which we have quite a bit of. Yeah, we could try that, I guess. We're kind of close to the end, but I am missing a lot of souls, so whatever. Duration is nice. There's some elemental damage finally. Legendary catch-up, don't think I care. Yeah, I guess we'll take that right before the end here. Yeah, even just standing up here and trying to pull them all through the firewall, it's still not amazing, I feel like. That one could probably use a bit of a buff in some way. Soul Harvest and Plant Attacks. Probably doesn't do a ton, but you also don't get much for selling. Dodge is very good now at that much. It is limited to, and that is quite a bit of HP, I guess so. I don't think we're gonna lower my HP that much close to the end though. Nice duration there. Armor might be smarter, but duration's fun. Or Legendary Clouds. Yeah, I guess that's fine. Damage types. It's harder to find elemental damage than I was expecting as well. Extra enemy accounts. I don't think we're gonna grab that right before the end, but just the enemy account might have been good early on. That would give me about 50% HP, which is a decent buffer. I might just take that, even though it has a decent downside. Damage for every speed. If we could have gotten that earlier, that would have been quite cool, but we also didn't even end up with that much based off of the elemental, unfortunately. Blue Petal Popper? Yeah, may as well. Try and make like an area around the ritual circle, so we can have a super fortress over here. Range is fine. Soul Harvest, I guess so. And just some damage or region. Do we have anything else to increase speed here? Nope. Guess we'll go ahead and take that. Plus 14 it looks like. Purple Popper. I think that's the final one of that, so we can get it out of there at least. New with a visible name. Don't think we're gonna lock anything here. Oh, that's actually pretty good survivability. Yeah, I'll take that. Plus it's limited. Lose attack speeds? Nah. Crit chance, but lose elemental. What is the base crit damage? 2 times. It might be worth it. I just don't really want to lose elemental. Like, we have elemental and a movement speed, which then gives us the percent damage. And it's so low already. Like, it might be worth it, but I don't really want to do it. Duration. Our orbit. We got rid of that. Enemy health is fine. Soul Flask triggers all the effects of a heal potion. I wonder if that works. Heal from potion says nothing, but we gain the attack speed. Oh, that's right. We gain attack speed and damage if I have that. So it's actually not bad now. Chest gives a bunch of souls. We're on the final wave, so I don't think that really helps. Damage types, we do need some more of that. Oh yeah, find the firewall. Make a nice little fortress around the circle. It does combine decently with the ritual circle, I guess. You really want to try and maximize the attack speed off of that. But pretty underwhelming overall, I will say. But I do think combining it with the pinball skill would actually be very cool if you could time that correctly. The pinball gives you a bunch of movement speed and you just bounce around the map randomly. That is something still worth trying, I think. Steel pickup. I guess so. Elemental damage armor. Fortunately, duration is super nice, but we do need both of those. Luck, dodge, I guess so. It's fine. Critical hit poisons based on range. I guess so. Don't really care. Elemental. Nice lifesteal. Sure. It's one of our only sources of healing. Grab the flash thing. Sell value. Yeah, it's limited to anyways. Guess we could grab that. Decent armor, but I don't really care that much. Shop always sells at least one attack. I think that would actually be bad for me. We're nearly done with that anyways. We can get that out of the shop, doesn't do anything though. Sitting still gain armor. Kind of fits with the ritual circle. +2 overall stats. And we lose something that I really want. That just doesn't seem good. Especially for 163. I guess we could try that. And that has no downside. Bow might not be terrible, but don't really care. Can't even get to my circle. They're just walling me off. Alright, finally we can stand still, kind of. How much armor do we have with that thing active? 39. And then I think I saw something about an unlock requiring 30 in Endless, so we'll try and hit that at least. Dodge is good. Luck, I guess so. -1 to damage types. I don't really want to lose Elemental, and we're still pretty low on it. Mushrooms that increase speed. Dodge is fine. Minions collect souls, does nothing, but it's unique. Armor, yeah. Unless I want the range. It does work on the poppers. Might be cool. +1 bounces. Don't know if that does anything, but we'll try it. Why not? Duration and dodge is fantastic. Another of those. We must be close to the cap there now. purple popper. We can combine those and then eventually replace the other stuff. End of the wave XP gain. Could get that out of there since it's unique. Oh, perfect firewall. We can build a circle around my circle. $1 damage type, soul harvest, it's limited, big luck. 4 HP is a decent amount, and we are getting close to the actual end now. Duration, XP, lifesteal pickup. Duration and dodge is fantastic, so we'll lock that. Do I want to reduce the enemy counts? You'll farm less souls, but it is limited to 2. We're close enough to the end, nah. We don't really need to go for the limited and unique stuff as much anymore. Extra soul, size, big armor, or duration. Duration dodge. Is there a cap on duration? Minimum. So there's a minimum cap, but we can keep scaling it, okay? Enemy count and damage, sure, why not? Duration is limited, so it's fine. Enemy count, nah. Pulse dropped from enemy, sure, why not? Nice range. Big firewall. What changes on that? Oh, that gains a lot of duration, actually. Decent damage. Blue petal popper. I don't think we're gonna settle for that. Maybe a purple one. attack speed is nice. Pick up a chest. Yeah, we can grab that. Elite enemy health and instant souls. Another perfect firewall at least. Now we have a nice relaxing circle build. Luck. And more luck. And then attack speeds. Is there a cap on that? 300%. We are not even close yet, so that's fine. That must be maxed by now. We probably have enough luck. Close to the end anyways, don't really care. Don't want to lose damage, but duration's nice. Don't think so. Don't want to start at 1 HP when we're close to whatever the achievement thing is. Chance to prevent an enemy from spawning near a pickup. We do have the bonus for them being blocked. I guess I'll try that. Might be bad though. Soul chest. I think we have one of those, so we could get that out of there. We have one of those as well. And they might give a little bit of value on top of getting them out of there. Is there like a damage meter for the different weapons? So you can see the total they've done. So the firewall actually isn't that bad for how hard it was to use. It's within like 30 to 40% of the other stuff. But the pedal poppers do seem to be the best with the stats we went for. Liquidator is insanely strong considering it doesn't gain some of this stuff, I think. Yeah, it does have a duration and cooldown. I don't know what that does. I guess you can have just the one laser? Or maybe it has like multiple copies that are all hitting at the same time. I can't really tell. Since it auto-targets, they would just overlay on top of each other if it does work like that. With how much damage it has done throughout the run, I think it probably does stack then. Size, that's fine. Range. Wait, no, size is bad. Oops. Oh well. Range is good. Yeah, I got those mixed up. So that's... I'll take some speed since we have the damage off of that anyways. Get that out of there, get that out of there. Checked pickups. That's actually bad with the spawn blocking thing we just got. But also I can stand still more, so I'm doing it. Don't think so. That is limited. Don't really care. I guess range is fine. I guess they move slowly enough, it's not actually that bad. And we'll have a constant stream of buffs from the potions. Yeah, that's actually pretty nice then. I was expecting it to pull them in a lot faster. But being slow is actually really good. Might still want to look around for any of the Ore of Souls things. Dodge. Nice attack speeds. I feel like that's probably detrimental. Like, you'll typically have decent damage, but not a lot of those stats. And at best, it's only like a 5% overall like stat gain. That just seems bad to me. Damage for attack speed, nope. That's fine. Yeah, we can take that. Lifesteal is fine. We're at 11. Start of a wave plus 2. We would lose 11 or 12. And there's not really many waves left anyways. Minus enemy speed, that's fine. Yeah, pretty good range anyways. I don't think so. 10% Souls Portal. Doesn't really matter at this point. Nice item price for every size. 18. Might still pay off, not really sure. That's decent. Elemental, grab the price, and then finish that off. We could try out the 2 copies of that and see what happens, I guess. Range is fine. Pretty good, actually, I think, with the pedal boppers. But yeah, find the firewall. There's almost always like a circle of pickups around me from them constantly dropping and then moving very slowly. So it might actually prevent a lot of spawns nearby, I guess. I don't know if it's good, but you can do it. Damage and attack orbits. Duration. Souls are golden. I think we're kind of past the point for souls anyways, whatever. Nope. Don't really care, but lifesteal is fine. I wonder if blocking the spawns causes them to respawn faster, because there is still an insane number of enemies, even though I should be blocking an absurd amount of them. Don't care about luck anymore. Item price is fine. Size doesn't affect a whole lot here. Big damage, duration, pick up a soul based on level. I don't think 41 damage is a lot when we have a bunch of these trails that are hitting multiple times at like 50 plus damage. Just doesn't sound like it would do a lot. But we do need the elemental damage. That seems bad. Duration. That's actually not bad. That's based on dodge. And we do have a nice amount of dodge now. Yeah, I could grab some of that. In case we have anything that lowers it. Attacks price, we're not really even buying those anymore. Item price, I guess so. I don't think I really care that much. Ooh, attack speed. Dang, it was pretty hard to find the last pedal poppers, I guess. Attack speed duration, super nice. Green one to insult me right at the end. Ooh, all damage types, and we just can't get it for the final wave. Where is my firewall? Now, can we get back while avoiding boss attacks? No, we cannot. They are completely walling me off. Alright, this is my new home now, I guess. So we beat wave 30. That should be progress towards whatever. I think you need to do that 5 times, it said. So we'll just call the run now. Good enough for now. In the game run. Take a quick look at the final damage. 95k on the firewall. 64, 59, and 57 on the pedal poppers. 13 on the cloud. We definitely needed to replace that, I guess. Liquidator 60k, so the poppers kind of pulled ahead at the end a little bit. Firewall kind of ended up being decent. I think it did a lot on that final boss wave there, where we kept pulling them through the circle and it lasted a pretty long time there. 12.65 second on the burn is a very long time. 50 times 41. Yeah, it seems like the burn on that is a ton of damage, I guess. It's just kind of hard to use and not exactly what I was picturing. Like, it has a cooldown stat, but it doesn't seem to affect it at all. Maybe it makes the burn apply faster now that I think about it. That's gotta be what it is. And I guess we should have gone for the fire synergy. That would have added a bunch of elemental damage and then extra scaling to it. That would have been pretty big. And then the pedal poppers would have paired better with plant-based stuff, I guess. Why does that have arcane damage on it? For the middle set, kind of weird. We had a lot of plant synergies, but no actual plants. Guess we should have grabbed some of those. Oh well. But yeah, that's Noobs Are Coming. Very solid Brotatolike, I guess. It's heavily inspired by that, and there is a bundle between them, so I think the devs are friends at least. But that's going to be it for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Or will I?